Live is now on. We're going to get into this quick. We're not going to take a whole lot of time with the introduction, so I'm going to give everybody a minute. Give everybody a minute to check in, then we're going to get right into what we're going to get into. Then we're going to get out of it. I'm going to send you on your way to do what you got to do. So I'm going to give you something you can use. You go apply it, and then we move from there. So I hope everybody's had a great, what day of the week we got here? It's Tuesday. Hope everybody's had a great Tuesday. It's beautiful weather here. It's super humid. It's hot. Sunday is summertime, so that's the way it's supposed to be. So as y'all checking in, shout yourself out in the comment section. I'm gonna shout you out. I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna introduce myself in 10 seconds, then we get right into the material. Actually, I'm about to stop introducing myself, and I'm gonna just go right into the material. Somebody asked me what's my motivation every day. You can get this book called The Mirror of Motivation. You can read about it, find out your motivation every day. That's a more important question. Somebody says, no, I'm always on time. I'm the boss. All right, it's impossible for me to be late when I'm the boss. Toronto, what's good? MD checking in. Listen, today's topic, for those of y'all know, my name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day. I created this whole thing called Work on Your Game. I've done a lot of stuff. Should I keep giving that introduction? I've written 27 books. I'm author of 27 of them. I played 9 years professional basketball, done 4 TED Talks, created thousands of pieces of content. We'll get into all that stuff when we get into it. But anyway, the topic here today is we're going to get to these. We're going to see if we get to these quicker. Maybe we'll do it this way. Is how do you know if your work is working? How do you know if the stuff that you're doing is actually producing a result? Because sometimes athletes will come to me and ask me stuff like, Dre, how do I know, I'm working on my game? How do I know if I'm actually getting better? How do I know if I'm producing? How do I know if I'm getting to the level that I want to get to? And anybody got a question about anything I'm talking about right now, I'll answer them all at the end when I get through what I'm about to talk about. How do I know if these things are working? How do I know if I put all this effort in, or if I get this information, or I go to this seminar, or I hire this coach, or I follow this process, or I take this course? How do I know that these things are actually going to produce results? How do I know? How do you know if it's working? For you to know if your work is working, there are 3 specific things that you need to do. I'm going to tell you what they are here today. So any of you who's working hard at anything, or you ever worked hard at something, or you're planning on working hard at something, and you want to know if it's working, or if you are helping somebody else working with something, and you could tell that they're not quite sure if your process is going to help them or not, here's how you help them out. All right, number one thing you got to check to know if your work is working, you must know your key performance indicators. They call them Kpis. In any kind of business, anywhere where there's a system and there are people working, you will hear this acronym. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicators, and is a big phrase that simply means, what are the measurables? What are the most important things that we're measuring? Not everything, but you have to know what your KPIs are. For example, if you're a basketball player and you get paid because you grab a whole lot of rebounds, one of your KPIs is your rebounding percentage. Like, what percentage of missed shots are you grabbing a rebound for? And then there's, of course, the raw numbers, how many rebounds you grab, how much your team is winning, the plus minus when you're on the court versus when you're off the court, or the advanced plus minus. Now they got analytics. So you need to know what your key performance indicators are, because when, let's say, a baseball player or a basketball player's agent goes to the negotiating table to help their player get a new contract, that agent is going to lay out the key performance indicators. Say, look what this player did year over year over year. Look what happened when this player was on the court versus when this player was off the court, or on the field versus off the field. And look how they were helping the team. Those key performance indicators are ways to show the value of whatever work somebody is doing. So you need to know what yours are, what your key performance indicators are. And they usually are not the things that most people think from the outside looking in. You would think a company like, there's a book I read called From Good to Great by Jim Collins, really good book. It's actually one of the top, I'll put it in my top 10. I would say top 5, but I got so many books that I would say top 5 that I think I got to expand it to a top 10 or a top 20. But one of the things Jim Collins talked about is knowing what is I forget the exact phrase that he used. I got to reread that book. I read it twice. I got to read it again. But one of the things that he talks about is every company has to know what their main key performance indicator is. And often it's not in business, you would think their number one KPI would be sales, right? How many sales you're making, or how much money you're making through sales. But that's not always the thing, because every company is making money through sales. But what drives those sales? What's the most important factor that leads to that? The second order consequence being the sale. And for a company like Walgreens, it was having a whole lot of stores within a short distance of people, which made it very convenient and easy for more people to come to the store, which meant they would spend more money every time they visited the store. So Walgreens' key performance indicator, one of them, at least at the time that Jim Collins did his research for that book, was how much money is each customer spending per visit to the store. So it wasn't overall how much money do we make as a company. It was how much money does each customer spend every time they come in the store. And that's something that most people from the outside looking in would never think. They wouldn't even come up with that number as the main thing for Walgreens. They would just say, well, how many customers you got, how many subscribers you got, how many, whatever. You need to know what your key performance indicators are. If you don't know what they are, that means you don't know what to measure, which means you don't know what to look at, which means you have no idea when you're looking at your results what if you're looking at a successful result, or if you're looking at a failing result, or a neutral result, or if your work is working or is not working. You have no way of knowing if you don't know what you're measuring. So number one thing is you must know what you are measuring, and then you have to actually measure it. A lot of times in business, for many of us, if any of y'all is anything like me, you may not measure stuff. You might just do stuff, and then you can see that you're either making money, or you're scoring points, or you're getting opportunities, or whatever it is you think makes you feel good about what you're doing in your work. And you say, oh, well, it's working because look, I'm getting this result, but you're not even measuring anything. So you have no idea if you're doing better now than you were last month, or this week versus last week, or this year versus last year, because you don't have anything that you are consistently, strategically measuring. Any mature business, a mature business means a business is being run professionally by people who know what they're doing, and they are measuring the right things. They know what their KPIs are. Again, it may be an internal thing. Maybe only the people who work there know what they are, because they're the only people who really need to know, unless they write a book about it or something like that. But you need to know what those are. If you don't know what your key performance indicators are, meaning the most important factors that tell you whether you are succeeding or failing, that means you need to mature up your business. Your business needs to grow up, or your business needs to wake up. And understand that you don't have to be a CEO or run a company, a billion-dollar company like Walgreens or Apple, to be doing this. You don't have to be an entrepreneur to do this. Your life is a business. If you have a 9-to-5 job, that's still a business. Are you doing better this year than you were doing last year? If you're an athlete, that is a business. All right, what are the key performance indicators of whether you're getting better as a soccer player or a football player or a basketball player? You need to know what to measure so that you can see, where am I improving? Where am I getting worse? Where do I need help? Where do I need to work on my game? All right, you need to be able to answer those questions at all times. Number 2, do not get married to your habits and routines. So this is something that you could use for, if you look at your key performance indicators, right? Knowing if your work is working. If you notice that certain parts of your work are not working, what should you do? I mean, a logical, reasonable person, which I think you are, you would say, well, I need to change it, right? I need to do something different. Maybe I should stop doing this and start doing this other thing. But here's the challenge with that for many of us, because we're human, is that we get locked into routine. We get locked into habit. We get used to doing the same things over and over again, and we don't want to change. Not because we think the thing is working so well. We can see that it's clearly not producing the result that we want, but we're like, man, I don't really feel like doing anything different. I'm so used to doing it this way. People might be expecting me to do it this way. This is the way that's comfortable for me. I've gotten used to doing it. Do not get married to your habits and routines, especially when you recognize that your habits and routines are not producing the key results. And I'll talk about that here in this book right here called Work on Your Game, that your habits are your employees. So any of you who doesn't own a business and you don't have staff working for you, all right, your habits are your staff. Your habits are your employees. They work for you. They're your assistant. They're the manager. They're the person working in the mailroom. They're the maintenance guy. They're whatever other jobs you could have. Middle management, lower management. All your habits are the people who work for you. And every single day, you should be looking at your habits and asking yourself, which of these habits is serving me and helping me get further ahead? And which of these habits is holding me back and slowing me down? And you need to fire the ones that are not working and keep and promote the ones that are working. You need to be doing that on a consistent basis, not just once a year or every time you fail and then you got to take a hard look at your life, but all the time. Every day, be looking at your habits and asking yourself, which one of these is serving me and which one of these is slowing me down? And the third thing you got to do, you must be ruthless in pursuit of results. What does that mean? First of all, you got to know what your result is. As I said in the first point, what is your key performance indicator? How do you know you're succeeding? In anything that you're doing right now, how do you know you are a success? Remember, I was talking to this basketball player once. I was speaking at this event. It was at a college, but it was high school students. And this kid said, well, one of my goals, I want to be an excellent basketball player by next year. And I said, well, how do you know you're excellent? What are the key indicators that you've become excellent? Because excellent is an adjective. It's a matter of opinion. So you could just decide tomorrow that you're excellent. You say, oh, I achieved my goal. No, you cannot measure that way. What is the result that you're after? In order to become excellent, that means I need to blank. I need to average 15 points a game. I need to get 80% on my free throws. I need to grab 5 rebounds. I need to play on 6 basketball teams in the summertime. I need to win at least 1 championship in one of the leagues that I'm in. I need to get recruited by at least 2 schools at the Division I or Division II level. There needs to be things that you can check off the box and say, this is done, done, done. Those are the ways that you know you're getting results. Your results need to be measurable. They need to be specific. They need to be things that any person who knows nothing about you, never seen you before, never heard of you, can look at your indicators of what success is, and they can at least understand it. They might not know how to do it. Maybe they can't do it, but at least they understand what you're doing. And if they looked at your stats and your results, the things that you're measuring, they could say, hey, all right, this is working, this is not. You achieved this, you didn't achieve that, and they don't have to know anything about you. That's what I mean when I say knowing what your results are. And you need to be ruthless in going after results. What I mean by that is if you have people around you, ideas around you, habits, any kind of systems that are not getting you closer to your result, and you can see that they're not getting you closer, you got to not be sentimental about holding on to those. You got to be willing to let go of those. Let those go, get rid of them, fire those habits, fire those people, get those people out of your circle, stop associating with those individuals. Anything that's not helping you get to a result, you must be willing to get rid of and get rid of quick. Not when you get around to it, not later, not when it's convenient, right now. Why? Because you're in a performance-based business. You're in a results-based business. You get paid based on how you perform and whether or not you produce results. You don't get paid for feeling good. You don't get paid for being comfortable. You don't get paid for sticking to your habits. You do not get paid for sticking to your routines. You get paid for producing results. Now, if those things help you produce results, then by all means do them. But if they're not helping you produce results, they got to go, and they got to go quick. Now, let me recap these 3 points. So you see I did this a little bit quicker here today. So maybe we'll keep it this way. We'll see. These 2 books, let me tell you how you get these books free. Somebody asked me about this earlier. This is The Mirror of Motivation, Self-Guided, Self-Discipline. I made this book free as your entry point. If you've never heard of me before, you have no idea who I am, you don't even know what I'm about, all you got to do is go to mirrormotivation.com. The book is already paid for. All you must do is take care of the shipping. This is your entry point. This is where you can start and get to know what I'm about. It's mirrormotivation.com. You'll see the title. Just take the out and go to that website. This is for anyone who wants to step out of the old version of you, step into the new version of you with getting results, knowing what you're after, knowing what your goals are, and being ruthless in achieving them. If that sounds like you. Now, if you don't want to do that, I can't help you. Okay, I can't do nothing for you. But if you want to do that, go to mirrorofmotivation.com. Tell me where to ship the book. I'll ship it to you worldwide. All you do is cover the shipping. This right here is for anyone who wants to play ball overseas. It's called the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. This one I don't even have to tell you about too much because there's no other book in the world like this. This is the blueprint to play basketball overseas. I'm the only one capable of writing this book, only one qualified to write it. That's why I'm the only one who did. Get it at balloverseas.com. The book is paid for. All you do is take care of the shipping. Overseas Basketball Blueprint, balloverseas.com. Now, the 3 points that I just gave you, you want to know if your work is working. Number 1, you must know your key performance indicators. How do I know that I am succeeding? How do I know that things are working? How do I know this is taking me where I want to go? Number 2, do not get married to your habits and routines. Just because you have been doing it doesn't mean you have to keep doing it. You should only keep doing things habitually if they are helping you get results. But if you don't know what your results are, then there's no way for you to know. And number 3, be ruthless in pursuit of your results. You are in a results and performance-based business. Know what your results are, your key results. If you're not getting closer to your results, that means you need to get rid of stuff. Get rid of people, get rid of ideas, get rid of strategies, get rid of machinery, get rid of tools. Whatever you have in your life that's not helping you get the results that you want, get rid of it. Every single day you should be assessing what habits and what routines are actually helping you and which ones are holding you back. I'll talk about that in this book right here. So if somebody got a question, go ahead and post it right now. While I wait for the questions to come in and then I answer, I'm going to tell you about this book right here. It's called Work on Your Game. This is my entire philosophy condensed down into the best 250 pages that I could give you. All right, the publisher said 250 pages, so he made it 250 pages. This book could have been 500, could be 5,000, but they said we can only do 250. So I mean, your 250 page book, that's not too long that you can't read it. All right, that's why it's like that. Hardcover book. Go to workonyourgamebook.com. When you order this book, not only are we going to ship you the book, of course, we're going to give you over $1,200 in digital bonuses immediately. So that means you access the digital bonuses now, and then the book's going to come in the mail in a couple of days. Again, workonyourgamebook.com. Now, let me see if we got any questions. I'll go ahead and answer them. I think we got a couple in here. Let's see. Somebody asked, how much is the book? Well, I just told you. The book is free. All you got to do is pay for the shipping. Mirrormotivation.com. Mirrorofmotivation.com. Andy, what's good? Somebody said, well, this be on YouTube. I work on my game right now. It might be on YouTube. This is working on your game. So I mean, you should be doing both. You can listen to this and work on your game at the same time. That's what I would do. I mean, you do what you want to do. Somebody said if you lift weights with bad technique, yeah, it's like sticking to a routine even though it's not working. Exactly. And some people do that because it feels good to just do a routine because then you don't have to think. When you have habits that you follow over and over again, you don't have to think about it. That's the whole purpose of a habit, is that we don't have to think about what to do. You just do it over and over again without thinking. The challenge is if your habit's not working, now you're not thinking and you're doing something that's not working, that's a bad combination. All right? Not getting results and not thinking together is a bad combination. Now, if you're getting results and not thinking, that's cool. Now, if you're not getting results and you're thinking, that's good because now you'll at least think about what to do different. But if you're getting no results and you're not thinking, all right, you're going in the wrong direction. You shouldn't do that. Sports Lover said, can courage be coached or taught? I think partially it can. Some of it comes from you have to actually do stuff, but some of it also comes from having the belief to even put yourself in a position to do the stuff that can lead to courage. So I think it's a combination of both. Sports Lover 27. I wrote a book called The Super You. It's all about unlocking and living with your highest level of confidence. I don't know if you know about it, but let me tell you how to get it. When you go to mirrorofmotivation.com and claim your free copy of this book, there's a little box on that page where you put in your information. It says, get the full Bulletproof Bundle. Bulletproof Bundle is 4 books. This is one of them. Then I got a book on confidence. That's the Super You. The Mental Handbook, which is about mental toughness. And 100 Mental Game Best Practices, which is about personal initiative. You can get all 4 as one bundle. It's called the Bulletproof Bundle. I think I posted on my story is yesterday. If you look at my story right now before it expires from yesterday, I posted. No, that was today. Actually, my days be so long, I'll be forgetting when I even posted stuff. So look at my story today on IG, and you'll see where I was talking about the Bulletproof Bundle. You'll see all 4 books. So when you get this one, click that little box, and you can get my book on confidence. It's called The Super You. Again, that's at mirrorofmotivation.com. Ed Baldwin says, thinking you're the best of all time, is that cocky or is it having confidence? Well, it depends. It depends on if you're actually good. If you're actually producing results, then you could think that. I mean, if Michael Jordan thinks he's the best of all time, that's not cocky because Michael Jordan was pretty damn good. I think we can agree. Or if LeBron or Kobe or whoever, if somebody feels like they have the performance to back up their idea, then it ain't really cockiness. And anyway, if you're just thinking it, then I don't think it's cockiness because you're not saying it out loud. I think it only turns to cockiness when you start talking about it. But if you're just thinking it, I mean, you can think whatever you want. People can't read your mind. So the only person who knows what you're thinking is you. So it's not called anything, actually, to answer your question. Now, if you're talking about being the best, but you're not actually good, you're not producing results, because that's the way we know if you're good or not. We base it on results. Because good is an adjective, so it's relative, it's based on opinion. But results, if we know what the results are, that's not an opinion, that's a fact. Someone asked, how do you start making money as an entrepreneur? I did a live on that like 2 weeks ago. So what I suggest you do is go to Work on Your Game University, which is right there, where I got about 20 master classes about entrepreneurship and how to start a business. So go to workonyourgameu.com. Workonyourgameu.com. Anybody questions about entrepreneurship, how to start your business, how to make money online, all that, I talked about that in my master classes at Work on Your Game University. JN says, when you get started with entrepreneurship, would you have to scrap a lot of ideas in the beginning to get results? Not me personally, because I already knew what I was going to do. And that was a result of some skill and also some luck. Luck is a key factor in success. I talked about that in my master class called Hard Work Ain't Enough. Y'all can get that at hardworkaintenough.com. I got a lot of websites, in case y'all didn't know. Hardworkaintenough.com. That's a free 90-minute video masterclass where I explain to you all the things that you need in your life to succeed outside of hard work. Some people think if you just work hard and hustle and don't go to sleep, you'll be successful. That is false. You do need to work hard, but there's some elements that go along with hard work that are important. There are 8 specific elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And in that masterclass, Hard Work Ain't Enough, I talk about that. So for me, to answer your question, JN0119, no, I knew what I was going to do. The first product I ever sold that I created of my own was a basketball training program like over 10 years ago. But I already had a bunch of people that was just watching my videos because I was making basketball videos and there weren't too many people. So again, that was a combination of timing, luck, and actual skill. So all 3 of those combined made it easy for me to get started. And then when it's time for me to get out of basketball, I just start going into the mindset stuff, which I still do now. So I didn't have to scrap a whole bunch of ideas. But then there are ideas within the idea. So you got subcategories and everything. So just because you're talking about mindset doesn't mean you're done. You got to find your little niche categories. And I made work on your game. I made this up. Work on your game is a thing that I made up. I know people use the phrase, but it's a thing that I made up. I was the first one using it and branding it and made a business out of it. So it's a combination of things to answer your question. Question is, my boss wants me to become a supervisor, but I'm scared of telling people what to do and correcting them. Tell your boss. Let your boss help you out. That's their job, is to help train you and mold you, make you better. Ed Baldwin said, if there was a kid, he had a park near him, he's in a dangerous area, so he still go because he needs to work on his game. I don't know. You need to ask that kid. How dangerous is dangerous? That's a matter of that kid's judgment. I can't tell you what that kid should do. JN said, I bought one of those programs 10 years ago and led to 4 years varsity and then playing ball in Mexico. That's what's up. So you know what I'm talking about. So I started making those programs. It was like 2009, 10-ish, around that time. All right, so everybody, mirrorofmotivation.com. If you don't have this book, go get it. The book is already paid for. All you do is cover the shipping. Again, it's mirrorofmotivation.com. If you happen to be a basketball player overseas, Basketball Blueprint, get this at balloverseas.com. And this one right here, if you already got these books, if you need something new to read, 250 pages, hardcover, work on your game, book.com. I'll give you $200 in digital bonuses immediately. That's a couple master classes. It's a couple handout documents where I lay things out, how I would start my brand if I was starting right now. The 8 types of people you want around you, the types of people you want to get rid of in life. All of that is in the free digital bonuses. So everybody, I do these lives every single day, 5:15 p.m. Eastern. I may keep them going, I may not. Today's the last day of June. So tomorrow we start the second half of 2020. So I might keep them going, I might not. Y'all just got to pay attention. When you see that I went live, you better turn it on because it might not come again. Everybody working your game. Dre all day. We out of here.